Hey everybody, I hope everyone's had a good Thursday so far. I am back with a fresh word. So we're going to be reading in Hosea chapter 12, verse 9. So let's get started. Okay. I titled this, Don't Let Your Head Get Too Big. So, in Hosea chapter 12, verse 9, it says, I have been the Lord your God ever since you came out of Egypt. I will make you live in tents again, as in the days of your appointed festivals. All right. So what is God saying to us in this verse? God is reminding Israel of how they were rescued from slavery when they were in the land of Egypt. He is reminding them of his faithfulness to his people and his continuous presence and provision from their past to their future, showing them that he has been their God since the time they were in Egypt to now, meaning that no matter where we are in life, referring to even when we're even in our own, let me start over, y'all. Even when we're in our own Egypt days, meaning days as being those times of going through trials and challenges at our lowest of lows, at rock bottom. Some of us may be even homeless, broke, no way out, it feels like. We've all been there. Well, God was God to us then, just like he is to us now. He is the same God to us on a good day or a bad day. Jesus Christ, like it says in Hebrews 13, verse 8, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. You see, God rescued the Israelites from centuries of oppressive slavery and harsh cruelty. But the Israelites, they began to boast in their wealth and prosperity. They attributed their wealth and prosperity to entirely their own labor, blinding themselves to their sins and denying their ongoing need for God. They completely forgot that God is the ultimate source of all blessings. They convince themselves that because they are financially successful, that God must approve of their actions. But in this verse, God reminds them that he brought them out of Egypt, out of slavery, and when they were at their lowest of lows, and that he can reverse all of their fortune. God will strip away their material comfort and force them into exile, meaning forcing them back into temporary shelters, like it says in this verse, I will make you live in tents again, as in the days of your appointed festivals. Basically, so when the Israelites became wealthy, arrogant, and prone to idolatry, relying on their own wealth instead of God, God warned them that he would strip away their secure homes and make them live in tents again, to make them vulnerable and dependent on God's protection and grace. So what do we learn in Hosea chapter 12, verse 9? And how can we apply this to our own lives? Well, God is reminding us of His identity and authority, that He can divinely rescue us from our current problems, whatever that looks like for you, your current situation, while also reminding us of His right to discipline us in our unfaithfulness. Sometimes even taking us back to our wilderness season to reset us, humble us, stripping away our comfort, and forcing us to return to complete dependence on Him. You see, when we're at our lowest lows and we're at rock bottom, we feel like we have no choice but to call out to a higher power, which is God, only God, because we get so desperate that we know that we need Him. But it seems like when everything's going good, do we think about Him like we do when we're laying flat on the ground? Do we still respect Him and put Him in the center of everything that we do? Or do we place Him in the background? We're all human. It's easy to get distracted when things are going right and everything, is on the up and up and all of that. But we always need to remember where we came from, and that is God. Okay, where was I at? So, He will take us back sometimes to our wilderness season to reset us, humble us, stripping away our comfort, and forcing us to return to complete dependence on Him, to relearn trust and discipline. We all need discipline. Basically, to give us a wake-up call when we need it. And He doesn't do this to punish us. He doesn't do this to just be downright mean to us. He does this out of love for us. Just like when we teach our kids and we have to show them tough love so they learn. And y'all, I fall short in that category because sometimes I find myself being more of a friend and having probably a little too much sympathy, and I know we've got to stand firm. And this is how God does with us. He is the perfect amount of love, but also firm, and He knows when we need to be brought back to reality, basically, and remind us of who He is. He does this out of love for us, to remind us of who He is, to get us back into alignment with Him, to help us grow and build resilience and deepen our faith. It's more of a spiritual exercise than a punishment, even though exercise can feel like punishment sometimes. But stripping away our self-reliance, stripping away the illusion that we are in control, and we're not in control, driving us to lean on God's strength instead of our own. Sometimes we get distracted in life, and when everything is on the up and up for us, when everything's going good for us, and often tossing God to the curb, because we think, oh, I'm good, I'm at my peak and forgetting that God is the very reason we can do or have anything and everything in our lives. That's when God will put us in that refiner's fire, burning away distractions and helping us to focus on what truly matters. Do y'all need that sometimes in life? I know I sure do. It's a hard life out here. It's so much going on, y'all. It's so much distractions all around us, especially in these dark times we live in. And the devil wants to distract us. He wants to catch us with our guard down so he can slip right in. And that's why we need to be strong in our faith. That's why we need to spend that time with God every day. Even if you only have a few minutes, make that time for Him. Put on the full armor of God each and every morning when you get up. Who do you talk to first? I know when I get up, I thank God for giving me and my family another day of life. We need to be so thankful for everything He does for us, even in our Egypt days, even in those hard times, y'all. And, you know, when we are at the top of our mountain, when everything's going good, who do you think got you there? But if you take that for granted and you just, you take advantage of it, God is telling us and warning us that He's a good Father, and He wants us to have a beautiful life and bless us with beautiful things. But we have to steward it the right way. We have to be obedient to Him with it. It kind of goes back to tithing. Everything that you make, you should be putting in, giving it to God. 10% of everything. I know it's hard out here, y'all. I definitely know. 'Cause I haven't had it easy myself, and I'm sure none of y'all have, especially the days we live in. But just remember where it came from. Remember who buttered your bread. Even if you say, well, I have a job and I went and worked for that. Well, God got you up today. God gave you the strength to go do that job. God gave you that job. God, He is, He's the reason for it all. The Bible consistently calls for a humble spirit. In Colossians 3, verse 12, it says, "Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy, dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience." Always remain humble, people. Always. You just don't ever know. You don't ever know from one day to the next. Life is not easy on any of us. And you just got to keep turning to God for in all those times. When you give your life to God and you surrender your life to Him, Holy Spirit comes and lives on the inside. He comes and lives on the inside of you. And even though sometimes it might seem like God's not there and it's quiet and you're going through those times and you're in that wilderness season, Holy Spirit is inside of us. He is inside of us believers. He is always there with you. Talk to Him. Be still and know. Be still. Put on some worship music. Get that flow going. Ask Him. Tell him, Lord, if you're having a hard time. Say, Holy Spirit, please come upon me. I need you in these hard times. Let me feel your presence. Give me a calmness and a peacefulness. Come over me and let me feel your love. And he will. He will. It might not always be in an instance, but you keep coming to him. You keep praying to him. You keep being persistent. He hears everything you're saying. God hears everything. He sees everything. He is everywhere at all times. So if you don't think that God don't hear your thoughts, he hears your thoughts. You don't have to, you can't run and hide from God. He hears everything that you think. He knows everything that you do. Every hair on your head. Every bit. Now that's a close relationship. In James chapter 4, verse 10, it says, humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up. So, yeah. So, folks, don't let your head get too big. Don't. Just, take it back to God. Remember that he is the reason for everything. He's the reason. He's the way, the truth, and the life. Take it back to him. I love you guys. I hope everyone's been doing good. This humidity has been something special. I know we got some rain coming in, and that's probably why. But I love you guys with the love of Christ, like always. And we're going to fall flat on the ground sometimes. We're going to be at rock bottom sometimes. But I know a God that can pick you up off that ground. I know a God that can pick you up and show you a new way of life. He can heal you from the inside out. Be humble, y'all. Be thankful to him for everything. Everything, always. And I hope you all get a good night's sleep and spend time with him. And don't let your head get too big. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.